Hi guys. Just wanted to give you an update on my treatment. I know it's been a few weeks. It's been about 3 weeks actually, since I gave you any kind of update. So just wanted to get everybody up to speed here if you are interested, and let you know what's been going on. So the last video, I was in my second cycle, first infusion of my second cycle. So each cycle of my chemo has 2 infusions, um, which is a total cycle, and that's a month or 28 days. So my chemo infusions are set up um, for once every other week. So I get them on Wednesdays, and then disconnected on Fridays. And then I have that whole from Friday until um, have from Friday through that whole next week, um, and then to up to the next Wednesday before I get chemo again. As long as all of my levels are good. So what happened this last time? I had my chemo infusion, everything went fine. Um, I actually had a doctor's appointment right before then. Everything was looking fine. They're a little concerned about my weight. I'm having trouble eating. I was losing weight before I started all this, having some issues with my appetite, especially in the morning. So that's been my biggest struggle through all this is eating enough. I don't have a whole lot of an appetite, and chemo makes things taste weird, and with oxaliplatin and the cold sensitivity, that makes things a little bit harder as well. So that's basically been my biggest struggle, really, is eating and losing. So far, they haven't said anything like you're losing way too much weight. We're going to postpone. Nothing like that so far. But the dietitian does come and see me when I am at chemo, and she did say last time, like, hey, we need to try and figure out what we can do to get some more calories into you. I was not very open to the dietitian this past time when I talked to her. I had um, well, let me just back up a little bit actually. So, after my last chemo, the chemo that I did the video during, Dan got sick. So he was running a fever. He had, um, like a little bit of a cough, um, stuffy nose, stuff like that. Um, Normal cold type stuff. It was not COVID. Um, so he was sick for a couple days, running a fever for a couple days. And then obviously Amara got sick, and I got sick, and Aiden got sick. So we all got sick. Um, I felt just tired, like very, very, very run down, very tired. Like I um, just needed to sleep. That was a combination, obviously, of being sick and the chemo. Um, but it wasn't anything like overly, crazy as far as like an illness goes. You can probably still hear it a little bit. I do still have like a little bit of a stuffy nose, and a little bit of a cough. Sometimes you probably won't hear me cough through this, but I do have just a little bit of a cough. Um, 'Tis the season though. I do have allergies, so I'm sure that is part of all of this. I mean, I don't know. It might not be, but that's what I'm saying it is. Anyways, so We called the on-call oncologist over the weekend when I started having fevers, because that's one thing that they tell you to look out for when you get chemo is you need to watch your fevers, watch your temperature, because of infections are a possibility, because the chemo is, attacking your good cells as long with your cancer cells. So the on-call oncologist was basically just like, okay, what are your symptoms? Okay, as long as you can keep your fever down, you're fine. Don't worry about it. If your fevers become like uncontrollable and are over 100.5, and you can't get it down, then you need to go to urgent care or ER. So they gave me some anxiety, obviously. Don't want to end up in the hospital at all during this, but I mean, I know it's very high probability of that happening. But we made it through this, so yay. But anyways, I was probably down and out with whatever that sickness was for like about a week. I started feeling better about, I thought I was feeling better like the week before, the week that I was supposed to get chemo for my next time. I had to go and get my blood drawn. You have to go get your blood drawn every 24 to 48 hours before your chemo, just to make sure that your levels are where they need to be, so they can make sure that it's safe for you to do chemo. And I went and got my blood drawn on Tuesday. I actually went by myself and drove myself, which I don't normally do. But I was feeling okay, so I got up in the morning and went and did all that on my own. And got a call from the oncologist after they got my blood work and said, don't come to chemo tomorrow. Your BASO ABS, which is basically the white blood cells that are really the infection fighters, that was way too low for me to do my chemo. So I had to postpone my chemo for a week, and that was it was a hard hit. I was very upset about it. I obviously didn't feel good already, so hearing that after already not feeling good and like feeling like, well, I'm never gonna feel good enough to get chemo again, kind of threw me into a bit of a depressive state. I'm going to be really honest with you guys. I shut my phone off completely, like turned the whole thing off for 4 days. Because I couldn't deal. I needed to sleep. I didn't want to hear any of my notifications. No, some of you are well aware that I have issues with anxiety, and for whatever reason, like if I'm in an anxious state, the buzzing of a notification will set my anxiety off. I mentioned it last time that the little the little box of the chemo, the little infusion that I get sent home with, that buzzes, and that gets my anxiety going. It's horrible. It's just like a really bad trigger for me. So I try to keep it like far away from me, but that's why I shut my phone off. Part of the reason, because just hearing just that noise of a notification will like set me off. So I was just like, forget it. I'm gonna shut my phone off, and that's what happened. So if you tried to get a hold of me during that 4 days and then got a reply later on, that's why. So anyhow, Excuse me. See, I said I wasn't going to cough during this, and then I coughed. So after that week, it was basically just, okay, we'll give you a call back and let you know when your next chemo is going to be, and we'll try next week. Just go get your blood drawn again next week. So I went ahead and got my blood drawn the next week. On Monday, I was not feeling good. I didn't feel good at all. And I even told the phlebotomist, I said, let's hope for good numbers, but I mean, I'm not feeling good, so I'm not hopeful that, my levels are going to be where they need to be. But they were. So I went ahead and I got my chemo a week ago Wednesday. So that was the second infusion of my second cycle. So I've completed 2 cycles now. I have 2 more to go, unless they decide that they're going to extend things. And the last time that I talked to my oncologist, she said that they would be doing another scan after I completed the second cycle, I believe. So I should have another scan coming up to see how much it shrank and all that good stuff. So hopefully it has shrank a lot and we can finish these next 2 cycles, and then we can look at surgery from there. I actually have an appointment with the surgeon tomorrow, a virtual appointment. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to go over because, everything's going to look different after the chemo. But I guess I'll find out tomorrow. From the scan that I had before, nobody ever actually went over the scans with me. No, I didn't ask either, but I looked at the results of the scans myself, and it did specifically say in one of the scans that it did not look like my sphincter was involved in the main tumor. I guess that doesn't necessarily mean that it's safe, but that's the concern, obviously. I guess never really thought I would be talking about my butthole on a video that I'm going to post on YouTube and Facebook, but that's the reality of it, and that's what could happen if they can't do the surgery in a way that they can save the muscles down there. Then I will end up with a colostomy bag, and that will just be a thing that I'll have to deal with. Let's hope that that doesn't come to it. The surgeon that I have, I've heard nothing but good things about him. He's an excellent surgeon, Dr. Soul. So I will put my sphincter in his hands, so to speak, or literally, and hopefully everything will turn out good. But other than that, things have been going okay. Obviously I hit a kind of a low point and had a bout of, some depression, which is going to happen. Like, it's going to happen. Anybody I can get on here and smile and laugh and tell you guys that everything's great. And most of the time everything is okay, and I'm not feeling like, things are the worst. I normally don't feel that way, but it does happen. And anxiety and depression are like rampant right now with COVID. I have struggled with both of them for many, many years. But, you just have to try to get through it, and you can. and you all can. And I wasn't gonna cry, and I got almost to the end. But anyways, I think that we're all up to speed now. And thank you for watching. And thank you for caring. And thank you everybody who's been sending prayers and well wishes and food and snacks and things like that. And if you sent me something over the past couple weeks and I haven't reached out and thank you. I really appreciate it. Like I said, that was probably during my downtime and I probably didn't reach out. But just know that I'm very, very grateful for all of you. Let me try to get this under control because I don't want to end it on me crying, because I'm okay. I am okay. Alright, guys. Signing off. We'll talk to you soon. I'll try to make every effort for it to not be 3 weeks again. Alright.